Hi everyone, it's Dash of Dave here again, back for another crafty video. Today, though, I thought we'd just make something. So, it's not a tutorial because I haven't pre-prepared anything. We're just going to make, and these are the kind of videos that I really enjoy, just like when I'm doing my grimoire, because they're things that where I'm just following a process just like you would do at home, just making something. So, what it is I came across this. Now this was at work. This is a guide for screwing a Wi-Fi system to a wall. It's basically depending on your circumstances and how you're going to mount it, etc. There's different. It's like a key for different things. So if you pick H, then you use all the H holes to put all the holes in. Anyway, but I just thought it looked very utilitarian in style. So I thought we'd make it look a bit like a utilitarian kind of, I don't know, folio or maybe a punch card or something like that. So that's what we're going to do today. So in order to make it look a bit more utilitarian, although, craft paper is great because it's very utilitarian, you know what I'm going to use, don't you? I'm going to use some file folders. So I think I'm going to use this one. This one's a bit more flimsy, and this one is one of the older ones, which is made from like good quality card, and it's got that real very, it's got that kind of Cold War era feel about it. Anyway, so I'm going to make it out of this. Obviously you can use whatever you want to make, and you can just make anything really look quite utilitarian by just putting some holes in it and grunging it up and whatever. So it's going to be based on this. It's not going to be this though, so because I don't have all of these shapes to punch holes in, although we will do some like kind of slots and elongated holes. But first of all, what I'm going to do is I want it to be a similar sort of size, so I'm going to use, I don't mind this floofy edge because the floofy edge is all part of the goodness of this kind of style thing. So what I'm going to do though is I'm just going to kind of pencil round it so I can have an idea of how big it is, and then cut that out, although pencil marking it on this with like a very blunt pencil is probably not a good idea because you probably can't see it, you can't see it, I probably can't see it, but never mind, we'll cut it out. I've just realised I am a light missing. There we go, it's better, it just gives me a bit more. It's this direction that I struggle with otherwise. So I want to cut on that pencil line there. Find my blade. This is what you get for tidying up, Dave. Can't find anything. So I'm just going to cut down there. I think that was that line. We'll soon find out when I move it away. It was indeed that line. Excellent. So I'm also going to give it some rounded corners. Or some dog-eared corners. I can't see that pencil line. Let's try and, I can kind of see it in some angles and then can't see it at all in other angles. There we go. I can see it if I sit a bit skew with. Let's just put a darker line there. Yeah, that's the line I need. That's better than this little gentle line that nobody could see. And then we're going to cut this one. So I hope everybody's doing well. You may have noticed I've been catching up on my comments. I did promise you I would, but it just took a bit of time. I was a few months out of date. That's what you get for working and stuff. So how dare I have a full-time job as well. Trust me, if I didn't have to, I wouldn't, but I have to. So although I would never actually give up work completely, so even if I won the lottery, I'd still work part-time hours because I love my job, and I think you'd go stir crazy if you were in the house all the time, well, especially after working for so many years. I think, what am I on now? How old am I? 55? Am I 55? I always laugh at these people that are like, oh, how old am I? I can't remember. And now I'm one of those people. So, born in '69, it's 2024. Yeah, 55. And I don't even know what I was saying now. That's another thing, another problem with age, isn't it? You get to the point where you can't remember what you're talking about. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna have to come back to it because I honestly can't remember, and it'll come back to me, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's what I was talking about. That's what I was talking about age. But yeah, yeah, eyesight going and like all of that. It all just gets like anyway. I really don't remember what I was saying. I'll watch it back and go, oh, you idiot. But hey, never mind. So next thing I'm going to do not really doing measurements, but just kind of having a bit of trying to get a bit of a straight line on this. I'm going to do some pencil lines about where I want to put some markings on it. So I want a line. So you see along the top of here, it's got, these are all very uniform lines, obviously made by a computer, not by a human, and they've got various punches of some kind on various lines, but we'll kind of use the squares on the mat for making this. Oh, Dave, what an idiot! Start talking and then I'm not stopping the video to go back just to find out what I was talking about. So we'll just have to kind of either leave it if I can't remember, or pick it up another time if I can't remember, and I go, oh yeah, I know what I was going to say, so, or I might even remember. You know, it's one of those things where you go out of a room and go to get something, and then you walk all the way up the stairs, and you get to the top of the stairs, you walk into the room, and what did I come in here for? Now, I know that only happens to people of a certain age, but I'm quite aware of who my demographic is, so my YouTube analytics, unless you're watching on somebody else's account, my YouTube analytics suggest that you might know what I'm talking about, if you even remember. And I can only put down that to being the reason why so many people watch my videos but don't subscribe, because maybe you just forget. But, maybe the constant reminding might help you to remember to subscribe. There we go. So I've just done it in whatever this grid pattern is. Oh, it's 1/2 inch. Must be 1/2 inch. I was thinking, is it a centimetre? But it's not. It's a 1/2 inch mark. So, and again, I'm going to do it the other way, and then just give myself an opportunity to kind of use those lines to make us feel like we know what we're doing. Using the lines to try and get some kind of he's done it again, hasn't he? Some kind of a uniformity to it. That's what I'm trying to think of, Dave. On this occasion, anyway. Also, one of the big things that is a key factor to memory is hydration, and I am feeling a little bit dehydrated, so you just hold that thought, and I'm going to have a drink. So, although it is a running joke in my household, because every time somebody is ill or doesn't feel great or feels pain or anything, I always say, "Are you hydrated?" And honestly, like Vic and Brian now kind of laugh about it, because whenever they say, "Oh, this really hurts," or "I'm not feeling great," they both kind of mimic me when I say, "Are you hydrated?" But I'm asking, I'm just making sure that they stay hydrated. I am not normally very dehydrated. My body is, though, very susceptible to just little shortfalls in water, because I've made myself super hydrated. So I drink So this is a litre. Oh, no, sorry, this is a 1.6 litre, and I drink about 3 of these a day. And that's about 1.6 litres is approximately 54 fluid ounces. So I space it out throughout the day, so you don't drink it all at once. You can actually drown from drinking too much, but I space it out throughout the day. I do stay super hydrated. The problem with that is I only have to drop like 200 mils, and I start to feel the effects of not drinking enough, and that can have detrimental effects on my health. So I don't think I'm going to go right up to the edge. I think I'm going to just use that. I'm going to use that on this side, and it's not straight, no, it's not perfect, but it's perfect for me. So a couple of things I'm going to use is I'm going to use my anywhere punch, because I can punch anywhere, it being an anywhere punch. Just going to take this out and poke out what's inside it. My pokey tool. It's bound to be jammed up with. Oh, it won't go that way, so try and get it that way. Much easier to get it out that way. It's not easier to get it out. It's easier to poke it. Oh, there you go. It's coming out, raining bits of card. Get rid of those. So, and I also have some different sizes. So, in here, all of which are all gummed up, like that one was. Oh, it's got it's not an easy hole to remove from. I need something thinner. Scalpel? No, not scalpel. Needle. That's what I mean. Yeah. So yeah, hydration. That's the thing. But honestly, the boys, they're not hydrated at all. They frustrate the living daylights out of me, because I say, "Are you hydrated?" And they say, "Oh yeah, I've drunk quite a bit today." And actually, I know that they're not hydrated. So I won't go into any great detail about as to why I know, but I just know. So I'm going to leave that out for the minute, because I can then alter my hole size. I beg your pardon. So I think I'm going to just have some random ones of this size. So I'm going to start with a hole, just a hole there, and then I might have a hole down here. Not very good at random, so I'll end up making pretty patterns on the grid. And it might not be perfectly in the grid, but hey. You know, I love making these kind of things, these kind of punch cardy things. They just feel so. I mean, they're not that old, are they? So punch cards. Oh, you know, I guess they started using them in weaving, in like the 18 somethings. But I mean, from a punch cardy point of view, a computery punch cardy thing. So I can just pop that out, and that should fall out of this little hole there. It does. Do I want to do a different one? Maybe I'll do 2 together. Oh, hang on, Dave. Let's do 2 together where you can see what you're doing. And then we'll have that as a slotty type thing. Join them together. So if I join those together, it'll be like a slot, a bit like that. I might do this one as a long slot. What is a slot not? A hole. No, it is a hole, Dave. It's still a hole. I don't know why I keep trying to get it out that way. It's not going to. Oh, it's not going to come out that way, and then proved me wrong. I don't know, my brain's just like wandering now. It's like it's off down the garden path and who knows where it's going. So I honestly don't know what I'm talking about now. I don't even know what I was talking about. Yeah, oh yeah, punch cards, they're very utilitarian and very, I feel like they are very 20th century, but I am very aware that because I work in an old mill that card programming on looms and things was very common in the Victorian period. Maybe even slightly before that, but don't quote me on that because, like I say, I'm not a historian. I work on oh, I think I was talking about winning the lottery, wasn't I? Was I talking about winning the lottery and like giving up work? It kind of feels irrelevant now, doesn't it? Well, I probably think, Dave, every conversation with you feels very irrelevant, but hey. Hence the reason why my catchphrase for a long time was "Shut up, Dave," because I just talk about nothing. So what I want to do is I want to have a kind of one of these blocky shapes. Actually, I want to have like this. I like this bit here that's off the edge thing. I'm going to have mine over here. Yeah, I'm going to have it over here. So I'm going to do a roundy corner there and a roundy corner there. And then I'm going to join them together and cut it off. And that's going to be our slot out of here. I think I might do a little shallowy one of them over here, maybe with a bigger hole. This is just about playing. This is me crafting with the, I was going to say antlers off, but the stabilizers is what I meant. But you know, as my nickname is Moose, maybe with the antlers off. Crafting with my antlers off, although that could sound like a euphemism. So it's not. It's not meant to be anyway. Whatever your mind makes it into, I don't care. So honestly, I have no idea what I'm talking about today. So you know, please forgive me. I've got terrible earache, and I'm making it worse because I keep rubbing my ear, and then that's making my ear worse. So let's do some of these, and then I can see where we are. So I'm going to cut this off, make this slot. Make this the thing that I was expecting it to be, which is this kind of like chunk out of the side. And remember, I'm using it as inspiration, and it's not going to be the same. It's going to be something as inspiration. But we get inspiration from all sorts of things, don't we? You know, it could be a bit of packing that you find, and you think, oh, you know, I really like the style of that packing, and you want to do something either with it or replicate it in some way. I like to replicate because that way then, if I made something with that, I wouldn't then have that. Whereas if I replicate from it, I can then keep that and have that as inspiration again when I rediscover it, which is what will happen, you know, when you're in the craft room again. When you're in the craft room and you're tidying up, and I don't know whether anybody else is like this, but when I'm trying to tidy up and I rediscover things, and then I know it's all downhill from there because there will be no more tidying. I'll be playing with the thing that I've just rediscovered. So this is why tidying takes a long time, but yet getting it messy again so quick. I'm not 100% happy with that line. Let's just cut that bit off. Hopefully that'll reshape it better. Oh yeah, better now. It was just a bit of a step. There's a little bit of a step there as well. Just cut that bit off. This is me being perfectionist. And then we'll do this bit over here, which is the other piece that I wanted to be as a kind of cut out. But yeah, let's go. So my irrelevant conversation of giving up work, even if I won the lottery, I wouldn't give up work. So I'd just go part-time and or do something for myself, like work for myself. I mean, I obviously want to keep doing my channel. It'll give me a lot more time to do my channel, and that might then become a bit more, take off more. I'd want to then investigate things like designing my own stuff and all of that, I guess, if I won the lottery, but it's unlikely to happen. It's kind of a pointless conversation. Not pointless. It's not pointless, is it? I've got another little snippy snip that cuts, because I don't think that now will fit in there. No, it won't. I've got one that cuts just a little bit of the corner off without. But if I can't find it, then I can't find it. We won't worry about it. No, it's not going to be like very anywhere visible, is it? Because like this is what we do. We play hide and seek with all of our things. I do have this square punchy thing, which I could. It's a hole punch for squares. I could then cut something out, I guess, of here. It doesn't go in very far, so I'm not going to get them. Although some of those don't go in very far, do they? Let's try and use some of your grid squares, Dave. You put them in for a reason. So put maybe up to there and pop that out and just make it a little bit longer, make it more rectangular, like that. Cool. And I might do one of them up here somewhere. Maybe here. That's not straight. That's straighter. Let's go quite long this time. This is a fairly recent purchase, this square punch. I wanted one with the bigger square in it, and it's so hard to find a square punch. Oh, I don't know which way around that's supposed to go in. Oh, this is why none of my things have them anymore, because I've taken them out and I can't figure out to put them back in. Oh, hang on, might have found it. Found it, I think. I have. Will that go in there? Will it? Will it indeed? I think it might just. Oh, it does, and it's marvellous. Except for it's got bits left in it, so. I guess I'd want to stay at home more when in the winter time, because that's what you start to. Do you not like not spring? That's not winter. As autumn and winter approaches, do you not feel more homely? You want to be at home more, and you want to be more cosy and that sort of thing. You don't want to go out to work so much. I mean, like, not that many people really want to go to work anyway. But it's one of those things some of us just have to do. If you're not one of those people that has to do it, then you're so lucky. Don't worry, the rest of us will just go out and do it for you. No, you might have retired, so you might just not. You don't need to. So you've done your bit. Leave it down to us young people. Although, like I say, I don't think I'll ever give up work, because I just love work too much. I love being needed. I love being with people. So I wouldn't see people if I stayed at home. And I'm not very good at socialising. I'm very autistic in that way. Typically autistic in that way, not very good at socialising. But I do like being with people. So doesn't mean to say I necessarily know what to do when I'm with them, but like I like to be around people, and being at work is perfect because I can get on with doing the stuff that I need to do, join in the conversations when I feel I'm able to join in, and but still feel like I've had some social input. Oh, that slot has turned out absolutely spectacularly, even if I say so myself. You know what the other thing I liked here, I don't know whether you can see it, I'll put it on here, is see how this one has got a bit of a slot and a hole, and some of them are at a weird angle. And I thought I might try some of those. So maybe put a diagonal one in. I'm going to do maybe a long one. I'm going to go corner to corner on this square, on this grid square. That one. And that one. That pushed out. Oh, it didn't go through. That's the problem. It's always easier to put it back on again, though. So that's going to be my diagonal one. Let's do the diagonal now, otherwise I'll forget what they were for. I'll just end up being two holes. Up to there, up to there. Cut out the bit in between. Always turn it round because it's much easier to cut it like this. But up to there, but up to there, up. Yeah, make sure the ruler is against where the blade is. Cut that out. That's good as well. Cut slightly over into the edge of that thing, but I'm not worried. Realise just how wonky that slot is, but I love it, so I don't care. We're going to make one of those funky shapes. So I think I'm going to put one here. So I'm going to go for I want to have a slotty thing. So just go there, again, there, and now I can't see where the other hole is. So, and there. No, again, didn't go through, Dave. Did it go through this time? Kind of. And then I'll join those two together. Join. You know what I meant. If you don't, then join the club. Right. Then cut that bit out. And I think I'll go for a smaller hole. Do I want to go that small, or do I want to go smaller? Should I go teeny tiny? Is that going to make it really hard to do? Maybe. But, you know, I like a challenge. So, no, Dave, that's the wrong way on. Nothing like a challenge, is there? Well, this is nothing like a challenge. You're right. And then if we join that bit to here, up to the edge of the thing, and cut that, and then up to the edge. Oh, I can't do up to the edge, can I? To do that, I'll just have to do that up to the edge on the blade that way, and then cut into it, and be careful not to overcut. Although I'm not going to say anything. I'm just not going to say anything, Dave. It's an interesting shape is all I will just add. So, never thought about what the shape might look like. Theirs is a bit different to mine, that's why. Maybe I should change the shape of it, otherwise every time I look at it I'll just won't be able to focus. Not that size. That size. Oh dear. Anyway, I don't know that I can do this. I will try, but I don't know that that's done it, and I don't know that I've made a mess of it now. It's fine. If I don't do any more to it, I will make a mess of it. So, what I was then thinking is, I'll kind of leave it like that. I'm going to rub out the lines, but maybe I thought about using one of these, or even something else, like mounting a little bit of a label on it, and using maybe a different colour piece of card. That's going to be how big the actual frame is, so I will just put this, draw around this in the middle of this, so that I know how big the inner bit needs to be. Then I will draw a line of a frame line around it, so about that width. There is no measuring going on here. That same distance on this side, and then on this side, so it's not going to be perfect because I'm not doing any measuring, and on this side. Oh, other exciting thing I have to say is bought myself a new air fryer. So I've had an air fryer for a long time. I'm probably one of the earliest adopters of an air fryer. I'm not making a claim like it's like I'm in the Guinness Book of Records for owning an air fryer. I don't mean like that. I just mean I've had one for a very long time, so I'm not new to them. However, I've bought myself a new one. So I did a lot of research, and in the UK, the leading brand in the UK is a brand called Ninja. Now, I don't know whether Ninja are a global brand, but they're like a really popular one. They're like the name that people go to in air fryers. So I looked at a Ninja, and I looked at another brand, which is an American brand, which is also, I think it's kind of a big name in America, Kasori. And I compared the two, and they're kind of competitors with each other. And I bought a Kasori in the end, so I've been using that. Because I've gone from having a single drawer to a double drawer, a dual thing. And I didn't think I could fall more in love with an air fryer than I already had, but I have. It is amazeballs, and I'm not sponsored by them. I'm not sponsored by anybody, to be fair. So, but it is just super duper. It was cheaper than the Ninja. It was on offer as well, which helped it make it big, even more cheaper. No, we don't need that. But it's just so amazing. So I've had mine for not long after I moved in here, actually. So I moved here in 2015, maybe 2016, that I bought it. Anyway, I've loved it. It's great. It's gone to a good home though. Brian's now got it because he's moved it into his own place, and obviously it's expensive setting up home from having nothing. So he's everything that I don't need, I've kind of helped him with. So I've given him my air fryer, so he's now able to cook things. Before he only had a microwave, which was difficult. There's not a lot you can cook in the microwave. So anyway, I mean, like, you can cook loads of things in the microwave, but not many things you want to cook in the microwave, because nobody wants anemic looking chicken. It doesn't look very appetizing, to be fair. So now he can do chicken and anything really. So anyway, the reason for telling you all of this is because today's dinner, the boys are downstairs. So Brian's come round today. Well, he's coming round. I don't know whether he's actually arrived yet. He hadn't when I came upstairs to film. Him and Vic are going to be cooking dinner. They're going to be using the air fryer. So I shall look forward to that. We're having roast chicken, and they've not started it yet. We'll probably have it as an evening meal. But I'm already salivating at the thought of it. Wait until it starts cooking and I can smell it. The other thing I like about this air fryer is it's much quieter than my old one. So yeah, so I'm really, really chuffed with it. So, you know, like I say, I'm not sponsored by them, so I'm not recommending you go out and buy one or anything like that. I'm just saying I love it. So right, there we go. That's our little frame that we've made. I guess I could have done that easier. I could have made it could have used a stamp and done it like that, but I'm chuffed with what my results are, I guess. You know, sometimes the hard way is the most learning way. So I'm just going to cut these very tips of these corners off. And obviously I know it's got lots of pencil marks on it, but we can get rid of the pencil marks. They come off quite easily, hence the reason why the world has continued to use pencils for so many years. Well, I say they come. Oh no, I do. I was thinking I don't have a rubber. I know we call this a rubber, and other people are like horrified because it means something else in the USA. But this is called a rubber for us, or an eraser for you guys. That's because we don't call what you call a rubber. So, because they're not made of rubber. Although then again, neither are rubbers, to be fair. Erasers, whatever. There we go. So that's our little frame. Move those bits out of the way. Let's do some more rubbing out. Rub all of these lines out. Because I think I'm happy with the amount of lineage I have. You know, and if it leaves a bit of a when you rub anything out, it does leave a bit of a line sometimes, or you can tell where something has been. And I don't mind that, actually. It all adds to the curiosity of it all, doesn't it? Like it's been used in service, etc. Margot would be pleased. If you don't know who Margot is, go and check out my Margot series, because that's all about making utilitarian office things. In fact, I might put this in the Margot playlist because I haven't done anything for Margot for a long time. But you know, she's had a busy time, so she didn't need me around bothering her all the time. Oh, don't fling that over there. Have we got some more lines? Maybe there. Now, it's the only thing is I don't like all of those little, the rubbings, the little nubbins that get left. Right, so there we go. So we're going to have our little frame thing there. That does need to be just straightened up a little bit though for me. It's a little bit out on that corner. And I know this is my perfectionism coming into play, but you know me, and I'm doing this craft as a me craft. If a mind can have craft, then me can have craft. So this is me craft, not Minecraft. Shut up, Dave. You think you're funny, but you're not. Anyway, so let's make this look more utilitarian. So let's make it aged. So first of all, I'm going to give it a very dark line around the edge. In fact, I might even give it a bit of a burnish. So right, so I did move all of my gubbins for this. I wished I hadn't now. That's there. Cool. I'm just going to put my little mask on, because my little mask, like My Little Pony. No, just because I'm going to make some sandy bits. This is my go-to sander these days. So. Just because it gives it a good sanding that I wouldn't be able to do otherwise, so. Well, I wouldn't have time to do, basically. So I'm having it as though this is the edge that's kind of gone in through the computer, or whatever it's gone in through, the equipment, and so it's always gone across like that, and so it'll always have a drag line across the bottom. It's just a bit of general floofing of the edges. I won't do this bit because that's already got a floofy bit. Maybe a bit of a floofiness in there. That's the bit where it latches on in the computer or device. There we go, it's got a bit of a shape. And we're just going to take a little bit of, maybe not with that. Maybe with an emery board. Still need to use those wherever they are. Here, so just because it's a bit softer. And then we'll kind of colour it again. Do that on the other side. Where's the other bit there? There we go. Let's get rid of the burrs on the end of it. Okay, cool. Take that off now. So now my glasses have steamed up and I can't actually see. I literally cannot see out of one eye. Why is it just steamed up on one side? Just going to have to just wait for it to unsteam, because I cannot rub glasses. I cannot stand glasses smeary, and if you kind of rub them, all you do is end up, whatever was on it, you just smeared across the whole surface of your lens. So a bit funny like that. Bit funny anyway, so funny and funny looking. But yeah, so I'm gonna just go through all of this, catch all of these nice edges. I'll ink the other end in a minute and get into there, all the corners in there. It's got a bit of a totem pole-y kind of look that way around. Nice and grubby on the corners. I like it grubby on the corners. Grubby on the corners. Okay, so a bit on there. Might need to get some other shape in them, and then do. Right, if I ink this end, I should be able to get in to all the corners that way. Of course, I won't forget to ink that either. It's very quiet downstairs. Vic was playing Diablo, but like I think he had his earphones on, his headphones, even. But I don't know whether Brian's arrived yet. But it's still very quiet. Can't even hear anything. Normally I can hear neighbours and the ice cream van normally disturbs us when we're doing stuff like this. I guess now we're going into winter, it's not going to be around as much. We're going to go over all of this lightly soon anyway. With a colour, not this colour. Not anywhere as dark as this. This is just where the pinch points of like a computer or something, or where it's clamped in, and yeah, everything from my point of view, everything has a kind of a backstory. So I kind of like that, having a kind of a backstory to all of my makes. Kind of comforting for me. And I think it makes sense when, like, it helps you to make sense of what's in my head when I'm making it, if I can tell you its backstory. It doesn't need an alibi, so that's fine. But I'll give it a backstory. So, okay, so that's all of them. Let's just make sure that that's got all the corners are kind of covered, are they? Does it look like it's got something on there? That's great. Fine. Okay, so now I'll use a brush and something quite light. Let's use some antique linen for now. This won't just be antique linen though, because this brush is covered in other colours. So, but just to kind of go over it, you probably won't see very much difference with the antique linen. It's not known for having a lot of colour, but it does. You see, it has just changed. It's changed it a little bit. It makes it a little bit mottled, which is what we want. I think it's going to have some text on it in some way. I mean, we're going to put our little frame on there. Of course, haven't done anything to that frame, but I will do. Just going to go over because on this one there's no specific front and back really, other than one side will have a label on it. And it's a piece of interest rather than it's a journaling card or something like that. It's just a piece of interest to go in a journal. So you could make it into a, like some kind of the front of a notebook or something. Whatever you feel. But yeah, just when you have packaging and things like that, just take note of it and think to yourself, could I do anything with this? I'd love there to be something between antique linen And the next step up, which I can't think what it is. I think is that supposed to be that or this or whatever. I just think it'd be nice if there was something between the two. Something a bit darker than antique linen, but not as... Oh, tea dye. I guess tea dye would be the one between. But even that, I think, is a bit richer looking than either of these. Than the invisible linen. No, it's not called invisible linen. What's it called? Antique linen. So, invisible linen. Yeah, Dave, that's not what it's called. And then, of course, the whole antiquing look of it is just layering lots of different colours up and just being very random with how it goes on. And let it having darker patches and that sort of thing, because it makes it look much more real from my perspective. And then also remembering to talk, Dave, because you're not doing much of that at the minute. So we'll have some vintage photo, as we always do. It always just adds a little bit of grunginess. I think it adds. That's what I like about the vintage photo. Just adds that grunginess, and definitely it seems to pick up all of the like marks on your paper better than any other colour. So like that's got a gluey mark on it and it's picked it up, and that's absolutely fine. That's kind of one of the reasons I like it, so it's good for all of that. I'm going to flip that over and do the same on this side. Did I go over this did I do this one? I don't know whether I did, and I don't know if I did do it. I don't know how. There you go, that's better. It's a bit darker. No, Dave, you have to put it on first before you worry about wiping it off. Yeah, that's better. So that's that. Is that? Brushed corduroy. Cool. But you know me, I like a grungy piece of utilitarian Cold War officey thing. I don't know what the generic term for stuff that isn't collective term. I mean, for stuff that isn't stationary as such, because it moves. It's not okay, shut up. It makes me laugh, so you know, that's all that matters. Okay, so that's our front, isn't it? Where was I putting this? Was that the front, or was that the front? Oh, that was the front, I think, and that was going to go here in that space. So let's ink this up a bit. Go over it and make it look a bit grungy looking in some way. Bit of this as well. Don't want to really destroy the green. I don't want it to be completely obliterated. Might use a bit of this just around those edges. That's cool. Yep, perfect. So if we can get in there. Put some more on. Moron? Who are you calling moron? I know it's an old joke and I just love it every time. Whenever somebody at work says moron, or whenever they say, surely not, and I'd say that, I think it's from Airplane, stop calling me Shirley. But you know, the old ones are the best. That's what I keep saying. That's why I'm still here. So, because I'm one of the old ones with no memory, as we established at the beginning of the video. So I'm going to put that on there, and then I'm going to have a little bit of coffee dyed paper. So with something on it. So here we have a piece of coffee dyed paper. We've got this piece here, just feels like really nice because it's got a little bit grungy looking. And I know you're thinking, chopping into a piece of paper like that. I know, but it's coffee dyed paper. I've got so much of it. So what I think I might do is I might glue it down first and then cut it out. Oh no, I think I might cut it out first and then, see, can't even decide for myself. If I cut within that pencil line, it'll fit and not be seen. Didn't use the bit that I thought was interesting in the end anyway, so other bits of this paper are also interesting. So I'm going to do it in pencil. I'm going to kind of have it so that it's half rubbed out. So you can kind of just still see it, like it's been reused a few times. Just trying to rub it so that it doesn't actually wrinkle the paper. Then we'll stamp it with something. I do have something here. That's just some random letters. We'll do that in, let's do it in this. It's kind of red ink. Then we'll write something else over it. Just randomly coming up with numbers. These are not my lottery numbers, by the way, so don't copy them. They're not my lottery numbers. You can't, well, actually, you can copy them. It won't make much difference. Because, well, you'll win something if they come up, and I won't. Then what we're going to do, I was going to use another stamp with another number on it. This is one with just random things on it. This is numbers this time. So we'll do this in a lighter colour. Blah, blah, blah. That's not light. Let's do it in pumice stone. So, yeah, it's quite light. Is that all it says? 90? Oh no, it doesn't. Oh, that is very light. That's so light. I cannot actually see it. Did I actually stamp that? What's going on with that? Why is that not? What? My brain has just been blown. I cannot understand why. Okay, so maybe not. Maybe not pumice stone because it's not very good. Let's do. I know this is very dark, but let's just stamp that off on my hand. I know it's not a technical way. Let's do that, and then let's do like a. We do that, and then that, and then what's the third generation like? That's fine. Okay, so we'll do that, and we'll go like that, we'll go like that, and then we'll do like that. Cool. That's fine. Third generation stamping. I don't know, technical. Technical department, also rub that out a bit. So, kind of just a lot of overwriting on it, so it looks a little bit more oldie. Stick it on like that. Bob's your uncle. Fanny's your aunt. And I've got terrible writing. That's the reason why I didn't write it all myself. So just smoosh that around a bit so that it doesn't all squash out into the window. And then plonk that on there. On there. Might need to just move it a little so it doesn't stick out all over. It does stick out a little bit, but we'll just trim that off. And then we're going to put that on there. And that will be just marvellous. Maybe the tiniest bit of markings on it. There we go. I'll put that on. That's where we're going, isn't it? There. Yes, I'm going to put that on there. Well, still some of the page hanging out, so we'll get rid of that. And then glue it all round the edge and a little bit down the middle. Stick it on there. Cool. Alright, a little bit more darker colour on that edge. Might put a tiny bit. This is when I could possibly go over the top. There we go. And then, there we go. That is my... Let's get these away. Put your tools away, Dave, because if you put your tools away, you'll... Oh, no. We will be happier at the end of the day. So I shall come back to you in a second when I've tidied up. Okay, so there we go. That is my take on this, which was just a piece of, well, it was going to be thrown away because it's with all of the Wi-Fi things are up in the building where this came from, and I was tidying up, found it, thought, oh, I feel inspired by it. So this is my kind of recreation of something very similar to it, not quite as holy as this. This one's like Swiss cheese. This one's less so. But this is my utilitarian take on that. So just another little gem to go in one of my utilitarian files, and I hope you like it. So the only other thing that I was contemplating putting on, so the only other thing I was thinking is I might put a big number on it. So I've got this stamp. Some of you have seen this before because you've been watching my channel for a long time. Got this from Scrap, which is the kind of place, it's a place where it rescues things from going to landfill. Got it from there, and I love it, and I don't use it that much, but I thought that it might just look good with a bit of a stamp like that on it in a colour. I was thinking red, because red would probably stand, redwood? No, we're not using redwood. Red would probably stand out best against this, and also it kind of gives it that utilitarian look. So I thought we might use red. I've just put some random number sequence on there. Just going to make sure I get it nicely covered in ink, and I'm going to just randomly stamp it like so. There we go. Perfect. Actually, that is better than anticipated. I am very, very pleased with how that has turned out. Wow, I'm so excited now. Yeah, so there we go. So that was my take on a piece of junk, basically, and made it utilitarian style. So I hope you liked it. I know that Margot will absolutely love it. It'll be perfect for the machine that she's going to stick it into. So anyway, thanks very much, folks. I will put this in the Margot playlist. That way then you can check out the other things that I did in the Margot stuff. It's probably been a good year since I've done any Margot stuff, but I will be coming back to Margot, don't worry, and doing more stuff like this in the future. Watch this space. So anyway, remember, like I said, you need to be subscribed, because if you're not subscribed, you won't see these things that happen, these wonderful, weird and wonderful things, and the little journeys that I go off meandering and forget what I'm talking about, and you won't be included. So, you know, make sure that you subscribe it, make sure you press the bell icon, make sure that you get all the notifications that you want. Don't forget to give this a thumbs up. Don't forget to share it with friends if you think that they might like it. Don't forget to spread the word about Dash of Dave, and, you know, comment if you so wish, and I will see you all in the next video. Thank you very much for spending some time with me. I've thoroughly enjoyed myself. I hope you have too, and I'll see you soon. Take care, folks. Lots of love. Mwah, mwah, mwah. All the kisses in the world, all the hugs, because if nobody's hugged you today, I have. All right then, take care, folks. Don't forget, love you all without exception, until you give me a reason not to. So don't give me a reason not to, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, folks. Bye. Bye.